Everyone, it's Wendy. So we're going to have a go at this recipe for the dairy-free brownies. It's in your pack, so I'm just going to run through the ingredients we need. So it looks quite a lot, but it is for quite a few squares. So this is the amount of dark chocolate we need, which I'm going to break up in a minute. And then we don't need all of this, but that's the other chocolate I've got to chop up into pieces. This brown chocolate we're going to melt. Now, this is cocoa. It's not drinking chocolate, it's cocoa powder. And it normally comes in quite a dark brown packet. Some vanilla extract, plain flour. Now it says golden caster sugar. I haven't got that, so I've just got this one called demerara sugar. But any sugar will do. Brown one is best. And I'm going to have 4 large eggs, so that's what I've got here. And then last of all, quite a weird ingredient for something sweet is half a teaspoon of salt. So that's just my salt pot. I'm going to get half a teaspoon out of that. Now, I think the only reason they have salt in is because it brings out the flavour of things. So that's why they've got it, I think. Now, in the instructions it says that to have a pan with some water, hot water boiling on the stove, and then another pan will go onto it like that, a bowl. And that's what we're going to melt our chocolate in. So that's what my setup's going to be. You can have a smaller bowl, but ideally you don't want the bowl sitting in the water. You want it just getting hot from the water to melt the chocolate. Okay, so I'm going to put my chocolate in and get it melting, and I'll be back with you soon. Okay. Hi everyone, so I've got my dairy-free spread. That's here. And my chocolate, it looks quite a lot, but it's for a lot of brownies, okay? So I'm going to place this on top of a pan, and that's got some boiling water in. And then I'm just going to get my little cooker. Okay. I'm just going to make some room for it so it can cook safely. And obviously you will do this in the kitchen. So that goes on top of my cooker. You can just about see me. Okay, and we're going to put it on low and just let it bubble away and melt the chocolate and the non-dairy spread, okay? And when that's happened, I'll come back. All right. Right, so now we've got the chocolate and the non-dairy spread melted. Look, that's what it should look like. You can just put this to one side for a moment. We're going to work on the next bit, okay? So I'm just going to pop that over there. I'm going to use this bowl for the next bit. So that involves all the sugar that I sorted out earlier on. So that was 300 grams. And then we need our eggs. So I'm just going to crack these carefully, I was going to say. That's one. Two. Three. And 4. So throw those away. Right, now all we need to do is whisk this for quite a few minutes. And I'm going to use my electric whisk because it needs it really. Ideally, if you've got an electric whisk, that's going to be better. But if you haven't, just use a manual whisk. So I'm just going to see this is going to be loud, so I'm just going to do a little bit. what it looks like to start with. Now I've got to whisk it for probably about 5 minutes. So I'll get back to you in a minute and I'll show you what it looks like then. So look at that, it's quite runny now. Hopefully it will be thicker when I come back, okay? Right, so I've done my mixing. I'm just going to roughly chop up carefully with this quite sharp knife. You could break it into pieces or use a smaller knife or get mummy and daddy to help. So I'm just want chunks of milk chocolate into the middle of my brownies, okay? So I just want to make sure there's not too big a pieces. And that should be okay. I'm just going to put them in this tub for now. So I'll show you the mixture in a moment. Oh, by the way, I have put my oven on. I've got a gas oven, so I put it on number 4. I think that's 160 degrees. It does tell you on the recipe. Just put it on to warm up while you're making the brownies, okay? So those can just get on standby. Okay, let's get rid of that. So this is the mixture now. And you see it's quite thick. And that took 5 minutes of whisking. So I've got to add my chocolate. It's not hot now, so I'm okay to touch the bowl. Okay, but it's still runny. That's what you need. I'm just going to scrape this spoon. I'm just going to pour it in and stir all the time. I'll show you in a second. Oh, it's looking very chocolatey. Just going to scrape all this chocolatey goodness out of the bowl. We don't want to leave any behind, do we? There. Okay. Stir that in. Can you see how nice and chocolatey it is? Okay, so once we've done that, we need the vanilla extract. So I need half a teaspoon, which I think normally is about 1 capful. I'm just going to pop that in. Stir that in. Lovely. Okay, then we're going to put our cocoa powder and the salt that was in here as well. I'm going to put the flour in all together as well. I can mix it together. So the flour, the cocoa powder and the salt, just got to gently do it. Don't do lots of movements on this one. Just need to do it. It's called folding. You're sort of lifting the mixture from the bottom and folding it over the powder. And just got to keep doing it very gently until there's no powder showing on the top. Okay. Takes a few minutes. Big old mixture this. So I've got a big tin ready. I'll show you that in a moment. Nearly there. Just a few more white bits of powder. If we don't get it mixed in properly, then it will just be a powdery lump in the middle. We don't want that, do we, when we bite into it? We just want some nice. So that's what it looks like. Last of all, chocolate chunks going in. And these are going to be the chocolatiest brownies I've ever made. And just fold them again all the way through the mixture. You don't want to have a whole load of mixture with loads in and just none in the other bit, do you? Okay, so that's what our mixture looks like. Last of all, we've got the pan. Now it says 20 by 30, and this is the nearest pan I had. It was like a roasting tin. So on the bottom, I've used my pastry brush with some oil on. Just put a bit of oil, and then I've put this non-stick parchment, which will help to get them out, because they can be quite soft when you get them out. Okay, so I'm just going to pop all this mixture on top of here. Okay, just try and sort of pour it out. And you keep as many air bubbles as possible. Wow, that looks fantastic. Shame YouTube doesn't have a smelly tube. You could smell all the lovely chocolate smell that's coming out of this brownie mixture. So I think that's about all I can get out. Right to the top of here, isn't it? So that's all my mixture, look. So hopefully it will rise up a little bit, but not too much. So we're going to put it in the oven and we're going to bake it for 30 to 35 minutes. So I would put it in for 30, then get Mummy to have a look at it and see if it's all sort of cracked on top and a little bit crispy on the top. And then that's when it's normally done. If it isn't like that, just put it back in for 5 more minutes and time it, okay? So I'm going to go and pop this in the oven and I'll see you when it's finished. I'll come and show you what they look like. Okay. Right, I've got it back out of the oven now, and this is what it looks like. So you can see it's a little bit cracked on the top. That's fine, a bit crispy. So I've just gone round the edge very carefully with my knife just to loosen it. So I'm hoping, just pulling on these side bits, I should be able to get it out. It's a bit stuck. Let's just see. I just need a little bit of help along that side. So let's see if we can do it. Oh, it's cracking a bit, but that's okay. It's a little bit gooey in the middle. That's what you like with a brownie. And you see it's cracked a little bit, but that's okay. So I'm just going to try and cut it along. So I'm going to do 3 squares, and I'll show you one when I get one out. I'm going to make that the square where it's cracked. Let me show you this one. You can see what it looks like, and I'll carry on cutting them in a minute. Look, it's a little bit gooey. I think I might have to put this back in the oven just for a little bit more cooking. It's not quite done. The outside is done. Look, that's what it should look like. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this back in the tin, and hopefully it will cook in about 5 more minutes. Thought it was done, but maybe it needed a bit longer. Okay, I'll see you soon. Hi everyone, I'm back out again. So I'm bringing my brownie out of the oven. It's just a little bit burnt round the edge, but I think it's a little bit better now. I think part of my trouble is I have to cook things gluten-free as well. So I had to use gluten-free flour, so I think yours will probably be a bit better. But this had 15 minutes more and it's still quite soft in the middle. So hopefully yours will be a little bit better. I'm going to just try and cut it out of the tin, I think, and see. Well, this is going to be rather a big brownie here, but I'm going to go where it's cracked and see. So let's see how it looks. And if not, I'm going to serve it with some ice cream. I think it's actually cooked, it's just not staying together. So look, that's what it looks like. It's a little bit gooey under there, can you see? But if not, we'll have it, like I say, with a nice piece of ice cream. I think that will be a big enough size. It's either that or we'll have to have a slightly, next time, a bigger tin, and it will go a bit flatter, and then it will cook a bit quicker. So don't panic if yours goes a bit gooey, because look, it's still a bit gooey there. I think it's all the chocolate it had in, do you reckon? So sometimes things work out, sometimes don't. But have a go, use your proper flour, and I think you'll find it's okay. And don't be frightened to give it another 15 minutes, because it looks like it probably needs it. Anyway, hope you liked the video, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.